Okay, this is a bonus feature, if I could say that, for those of you who are looking at book reviews. So I'm going to talk about how I get a book ready, and we'll do that. And also, I'll talk some about Audible, which I think is a really great way to basically review a book. When I say review it, I don't mean to write a book report on it, but just to get an idea of what that is for the book. So I talked about getting a book ready to read, and then I did kind of a very low class um, video of how I get a book ready to read, a paperback book, that is. And so here's that video. Okay, so what I'm doing here, you notice there's no sound on that video. That's just that I'm looking at, basically. And I'm flattening out the covers by laying the book on its spine, and I want to protect the spine. That's really what I want to do. And so I'm laying the book on its spine and flattening out the covers, and then going, maybe 10 pages at a time from each side, flattening them out, going right to the inside of the book, right where they're bound, and flattening them out there. That's going to protect the spine of the book. What I'll never do is I'll never bend a page or pages back behind the book. That's the surest way to start to lose pages at some point, especially if you like books. And again, what I say about liking books is that I read them twice. But I go through the whole book just to make sure that I protect the spine. So that's what I'm doing, and hopefully this is helpful for you. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was Audible. And Audible is owned by Amazon. That may or may not influence whether you use it or not. Perhaps you have another way. If you try to go to Kindle and do their reading part of their books, that's also owned by Amazon. So I'm not sure where else you go. But listening to books is really helpful. And I have to say that it is my go-to, whether I am doing chores around the house, I'll listen to a book. Certainly when I'm in my truck and driving, I'm always listening to a book. Whether it's the Bible, I'm still looking for a good Bible app where I don't have to go searching through things, but I listen to the book, and you can speed it up. It has so many things that are really helpful. And I will listen to a book most of the time before I will actually buy it in paperback or hardbound or on Kindle. Sometimes I'll get all three ways of apprehending or comprehending that book. I have some books on Kindle and a hardbound book or a paperbound book, and then also have it on Audible. For instance, I'm going to do a review on Neil Postman's Amusing Ourselves to Death. And while reviewing the book, in order to do a review for the book, I started listening to the book again, and then started reading the book, started reading all of the things that you can do with Kindle, in that you can catch all of your highlights, all of your notes that you've made. It's really helpful. I've got bings and bangs going on all over the place. Sorry about that. But Audible is a very helpful, useful tool in order to get you involved in books. If you say, well, I'm just not a reader, here's a good way to start. Everybody who's in leadership ought to be a reader, and anybody who wants to be influential ought to be a reader. There's just so much knowledge there. It's just such a useful tool. You can speed it up if it's reading too slow for you, or you can slow it down. But it is a way that you can comprehend a book probably once a week if you put your time into it. I'm trying to read now 2 books a month. There was a time when I was reading 1 a week, but I can't do that right now. But at least 2 a month, try to get through them. Things that will help us in the church. That's aside from the books that I read for my own reading pleasure, which, I have my own particular things that I like to read on. Okay, so Audible. It is an exceptional app for your phone, for your iPad, and you'll be able to listen to books of all different natures. You can also do Christian audio, I believe. which is another app that just sprang into my mind. Thank you, Lord. Christian Audio also has a bunch of books that are all Christian books. Christian Audio is another app you can get for your phone or iPad or other reading device or listening device. And if you have something that you can listen to it in your car or truck, that really is the way to do it. I mean, if I spend 10 minutes driving to a store, I'll have my book online, listening to it. And it's amazing how 10 minutes here and there really adds up, and you can get through a book so much faster. So again, what I'm trying to get you to do is to read, to comprehend the things that are out there. So first bonus was just looking at how I prepare a book that I'm going to read, a paper-bound book, and now mentioning Audible. I think they're both good tips for you, and we'll have some more down the line.